The following is brought to you by CentrePointe Counseling, providing licensed Christian counselors to Maryland, D.C., and Virginia. Emily Leibelsberger and Aaron Stein are licensed professional counselors, bringing you practical tools and techniques for coping with emotions during COVID-19. The following is not intended to replace therapy. To learn more about CentrePointe Counseling and available counseling services, visit www.hopethatheals.org. Hi, I'm Emily Leibelsberger. With me today is Aaron Stein. Hi, Aaron. How you
Hi,
doing?
I'm good.
Good. Today we are talking about meaning making as we conclude our series about coping with our emotions during COVID-19. So meaning making is kind of the final stage in the grieving process. And it's a stage in which we make meaning, for lack of a better word, right?
Yeah.
We give this thing that has happened, we give this loss that we've experienced some context. Aaron, can you talk to us about how we do that? How do we make meaning out of something that's tragic?
Yeah, I think as we were talking about a little bit last time with the acceptance, that we have to
Yeah.
start to kind of come to a place. How do we put this into our story?
Mm.
Narrative therapy talks about how we're creating our story. And so everything that happens to us is adding to our narrative, our life story. And I think this at some point will be part of our life story and it will be part of who we are. And we can take one of two ways. We can take this as a tragic event that we didn't learn from, or we can take this as an event that taught us some things. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
hoping that we
Mm.
can come away from this really learning some things about ourselves and learning kind of who we are as people, what's important to
Mm-hmm.
us. I think a lot of people are saying they're really noticing what we need during this time, what they
Mm-hmm.
miss during this time, what they really value. People are saying, we're all going to go out and just give each other hugs and be together and be
That
with our people
contact.
and not
Yeah.
take for granted. I saw someone say, we're not going to take for granted like a crowded restaurant or a sporting event, that being
Mm-hmm.
together is what we long for and what we miss. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think
Mm-hmm.
if we can get onto that narrative, that positive narrative, I think we can see what we value and what we
Yeah.
appreciate that we're missing right now.
Right.
Um,
So, what is this teaching us? What are
yeah,
we learning from this? What is the lesson that we're gaining from this? I was talking to my kids about how there's their kids are going to read about this in history books, right? So, our grandchildren are going to read about this period in their textbooks, and there will likely be a lot of lessons that were written about that are going to be written about that came to be as a result of this period. And so the lessons also, I think, doing what we can to be a part of the
yeah.
solution, doing what we can to care for others, to care for ourselves, to care for our families, to care for people that maybe we don't even know. How can we go about doing that?
Yeah, I think it's easy when we're afraid to kind of turn inward, but I think when we get to
Hmm.
that place of meaning and acceptance, we can kind of look outward again, look
Yeah.
around us for who needs help. For some people, it's real practical, getting someone groceries or just talking to someone who lives by themselves and just, standing 6 feet apart and touching base or calling
Yeah.
people or giving our money or giving resources. A lot of people in our neighborhood have been really cool online and saying, hey, I need this. And someone's like, I have that. And someone else is like,
Yeah.
hey, does anyone have this power cord I need? And people are really coming together in a community, really
Yeah.
looking out for each other. And that's the
Yeah.
type of people we're supposed to be, right? But it can be easy to become self reliant and self sufficient.
Right.
And I think this time is bringing out that community and that compassion for one another that we really have inside of us all along. We can just kind of sometimes stick to the side and stick to ourselves and take
Yeah.
care of ourselves. But I think it's a beautiful thing when we can look for the ways we can help other people, support our responders and our healthcare workers, whether it's people are sending meals or making masks,
Hmm.
giving of our
Hmm.
resources. There's lots of ways we can help, and there's lots of organizations you can be a part of
Right.
or give to. It's whatever is important to you. But I think that compassion um, is really important during this time too.
And
To
just getting
get
involved,
involved.
asking people, what do you need and how can I help? What can I do? Or what needs do you know of that maybe you don't have, but you know of someone else that has that I could get involved with and that I could help?
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us and for being a part of this series with us. We are Emily and Erin from CentrePointe Counseling, providing licensed Christian counselors to Maryland, Virginia, and DC. Please feel free to reach out if we could be of any support to you during this time or in the future. Visit centerpointcounseling.org. And you can find information just regarding our services, our counseling, what we offer. There's also some grants for funding counseling, if that would be of service to you. And feel free to give us a call and just learn more about who we are and the help that we can provide to you. Well, thanks so much, Erin, for doing this series with me.
Thank
I
you.
really had a blast, and we learned a lot about technology and how to how to do this, and I think we learned a lot about each other too. So thank you so much
Good.
um,
Thank you.
for doing this. All right, stay healthy and well. Take care. We hope you've enjoyed this presentation brought to you by CentrePointe Counseling. CentrePointe Counseling offers a mercy grant program called the Samaritan Fund, helping people access care from our counselors. This program is made possible by donations from supporters like you. To learn more about CentrePointe Counseling and the Samaritan Fund, please visit us at www.hopethatheals.org.